Hey, what's up? What's up? Okay, another chapter to this very long story, it seems. And thankfully, the ending this, it's getting close to the end of taking care of crewing with the Giants and stuff. And there's like a rule that I always follow. It's like the three rules. It's one, bow when they bow. That's just common courtesy. If they bow their head, just bow it back. If it's saying thank you, goodbye, I'm sorry, it's just respect. Just like if you go to Missouri and somebody's like, good morning, you would do the same. Good morning. I mean, you don't have to touch your hat or tip your hat or whatever, but at least you would show that common courtesy, respect back to them. Same type theory. If they bow, you bow. And it just shows them that you're trying to understand their culture a little more. And they love that. It just takes a little bit. It's just like if you're French or Italian or Asian, Latin, whatever culture you're from, you have your little superstitions and your quirks and your little things. And if you meet me and I try to show you in some way respect in your own culture, it makes, oh yeah, maybe I messed up, maybe I said it wrong, but at least I'm trying. And that feeling alone is like, okay, this guy, at least he's trying, kind of thing. So bow when they bow, huge thing. They bow a lot. So I mean, they'll bow on the phone. They'll be on the phone and they'll be like, yeah, no, okay, I understand. And it's so funny to watch. But then now I do it too, so I guess it's not so much funny anymore. But it used to be funny. Now it's just like, okay, thank you. It's a habit. So bow when they bow. Okay, the second rule is you get paid on the 25th no matter what. Now, that's a weird thing. You can understand what I'm saying, but here payday is usually once a month. It's not always once a month, but usually you get paid once a month, and it's usually the 25th. Not always. Sometimes it's the 1st, sometimes it's the 15th, sometimes it's the 25th, sometimes it's the 27th. Whatever their cutoff, the company's payday cutoff thing is, but 95% it's on the 25th. So that being said, you get paid on the 25th no matter what. So when you're a player or when you're working for a big company here, you have to do a lot of unusual things. I don't want to say stupid or anything negative like that, but you have to do things that they expect because it's their culture, it's their way. Like, say you work for a big company and then every morning you got to go outside and do your morning stretches because that's the company policy. You do that. That's just the way the company is. It's been that way for 85 years. They're not going to change. You got to do it too. If you take their money, you take their culture. That's my big rule. If you take their money, you take the culture. So the payday is on the 25th. No matter what kind of things you have to do that you don't understand or you're not worried about, you're still getting paid on the 25th. So remember that. So when you're sitting there and you're like, I seriously got to do this stretch, but you're thinking, okay, well, they're paying me $1 million every 25th. Maybe it'll help you get through that stretch a little better. And then the third thing is a little, it's a little more complicated, and it's maybe a touchy subject, but I don't know how to put it in a polite way, but it's kind of based off the kamikaze word and the culture of the kamikaze. Now, everybody knows kamikaze, that know the pilots back in the war, that, you know, when they'd run out of bullets and when they'd run out of gas, they'd fly their plane into the ships to damage the ships. And that was, they would sacrifice their life for their country and their people. And now, I'm not saying that was a good theory or that was a good way to do things, and no way whatsoever. What I'm saying is the mentality behind that is what I'm trying to talk about. So let's say we're at war, and the captain comes over the mic, and he's like, all right, guys, we're going to go and attack these alien ships. We're going to attack these alien fighters. But if you run out of bullets and you run out of gas, you can't come home. You got to crash into them. That will give your family honor that you sacrificed your life for us to beat these aliens. Now, I was in the Navy. I know a lot of people in the military. I'm American, so I know somewhat of how Americans would think. I know for a fact that about 95% of everybody who was involved with flying a plane would have gotten a plane and flew the opposite direction. The other 5% would have probably just not gotten a plane, period. But there is no way that any American or almost any other culture in the world would have agreed to sacrifice their life to beat these aliens in that way. It's just, I mean, nobody raised their hand and be like, Captain, so I can't come back to the ship and get more gas. I can't like reload the bullets. So that's not a possibility here. You're just saying when I pull the trigger and the bullets are done, that's it for me. That's my job. Nobody questioned that rule or that honorable death, which leads back to the samurais and to their culture with the whole, back in the old days, taking their own life for disrespecting. I mean, this is their culture. So seeing how this is a difficult and a hard thing for a lot of people to grasp. I mean, I still don't grasp it to this day, that I don't understand how somebody can agree to that. Yeah, I could see Secret Service taking a bullet for the president. That's if the case was to come and there was a threat, it's your job. I understand that. But you're specifically going out and never coming back. I mean, a Secret Service agent doesn't wake up in the morning and be like, all right, I know old boy's going to take a shot at 3 o'clock, so, hey, baby, it was nice knowing you. It's just not going to happen. It's not. And so that being said, with that type of mentality, this is their culture. So when you come here to do business, or you come here to work, or you come here to introduce a new product or a new way to do things, say you don't have to cut an apple from the skin from top to bottom, you can cut it from the middle out, or something like that. This is new to them. Now, they're not going to do anything that the upper person hasn't approved. That's just their way. So if you're talking to a lower person on the chain, if you're talking to the cook at McDonald's and you're trying to get them to change the way the cheeseburgers are made, it is not going to happen, because their culture tells them that the upper person, the senpai, the person who's in charge, makes the rules. And until the captain of that ship says you can change that cheeseburger, or you're going to crash your plane into these aliens, until that word comes down the chain, it's just that it is what it is. That's the rule. And they accept this. So it's not easy to change their minds in business and working over here. It's very difficult. And you have to understand that it's going to take time. You have to, work your way up the ladder to get to the captain of the ship, and then have him say, look, guys, you know what? I made a mistake about the planes. You can come back and get gas. We have a lot of gas. But if he doesn't say it, when they leave the ship on their planes to go fight the aliens, they're gone. They're done. That story's over. That's just honor to them, to follow the rules, to follow that, that mentality. So when you're doing business over here, and if you're a baseball player and you think that you're going to get them, if you watch the movie, what is it called? Tom Selleck. I think it's Tom Selleck. Mr. Baseball. Is it Tom Selleck? I can't remember. But Mr. Baseball is about an American baseball player who comes to Japan and plays baseball over here. He learns the Japanese way of playing baseball, and then, of course, good Indy. But their workouts in the morning, they do their little stretches in the morning, they do their little things. That's the exact same way it is today, and that movie's 30-some years old. So in 30-some years, they really haven't changed anything, because in their mind, that's the way it's done. There's no need for a change. We say if it's not broke, don't fix it. Their way of thinking is just don't break it, because it's not going to get changed either way. It's going to be the same. So those are my 3 rules. 1, bow when they bow. 2, payday comes on the 25th every month. And 3, remember the whole way the mentality is for, honoring the person above them. It's always about the person above them. Whatever rule that's stated, whatever law that's been put out, whatever word has been put out, that is the law until he says different. And sometimes with these companies, the head guy will pass away because of age. Then it'll never change, because nobody will take that step to change whatever the creator of the company, say Mark Zuckerberg or whatever, put a rule on Facebook that says that you have to be 21 years of age to log into Facebook, and he passed. Well, then the new people will be like, well, right, to this day, 21-year-old people aren't the one who are active. It's more of the 12, 13, 14, 15-year-olds. So we need to change that age limit so that, we get more online activity and stuff like that, because those are the kids who are more involved in Facebook. But if that was Japan, they would keep it at 21 out of respect for Mark Zuckerberg saying that that's the way it should be, and they would never change it. Yes, there are circumstances there. Yes, there are times when things like this will adapt to the new day. But I'm saying overall, in just majority of the situations, because he said it's 21, it will stay 21 until time can tell. So that's just it. That's when doing business over here. That's just my 3 rules. I hope it made sense. I hope it wasn't offensive how I was explaining it. It's a difficult topic. I understand it's not, you know, an easy thing to explain, but you just had to understand the way that they see things. The honor for the family, the pride. It's just a lot about that. It's a lot to do with the samurai. I mean, come on. Back in the day, a guy did something wrong. He killed himself. I mean, cut out his own stomach. I mean, come on. I don't see many Americans or any other culture saying okay to that. Even here with the mafia, they'll cut off a finger to say sorry. It's a lot of self-mutilation, I guess. Never thought about it that way. But anyway, that's the culture. You have to accept it if you want to make it here. Big rules. All right. Sorry, this was kind of a long video.